It's called the Focus RS. And let's cut straight to the chase.
It costs £25,000, which is family saloon money. But its top speed is 163 miles an hour.
There's a reason for that insane speed. A Volvo engine. It's the same one they used in the Focus ST, but now it has new pistons, a new intercooler, a new inlet manifold, and a new type of turbo. The result is a front-wheel drive car that produces 300 horsepower, which is impossible.
Asking the front wheels of a car to do their normal job of steering while handling, let's say, more than 170 brake horsepower is like asking a man to wire a plug while juggling penguins, while making love to a beautiful woman while on fire, on stage, in front of the Queen. It's all going to go wrong.
To try and make sure it doesn't, the RS has a new type of front differential, featuring things that only James May can understand. But does it work?
So, watch the steering wheel, OK? Hands off. Yeah, that's torque steer, look. The power is actually turning the wheel and violently turning it. So the diff hasn't fully cured that problem.
But what about cornering?
Ooh, you can actually feel the whole system working through the wheel. It's odd. I have to say, though, the grip is absolutely phenomenal. Look at that.
Eventually, of course, you will slide wide, but only after your faces come off. This is an amazing car. And let's not forget, shall we, that behind the noise and the power and the massively flared wheel arches, this is still a Ford Focus. It has a big boot, a fold-down rear seat, sat-nav and air conditioning.
You might think this is a bit garish, the sort of car that would turn up to court with its hat on back to front. You might think your BMW is better. But when it comes to offering the maximum amount of fun with the most amount of practicality for the least amount of money, I honestly can't think of anything which even gets close.
Oh, I can. This is the Renault Megane R26R. It weighs 19 stone less than the standard hot Megane because it has no sand burden, no sat-nav, no radio, and even a titanium exhaust system.
As a result of all of that, this car has just been around the Nürburgring in 8 minutes, 17 seconds. No other front-wheel drive car has ever been round faster.
So if it's fun you're after, forget Jeremy's fat Ford. This is what you want.
Hammond.
Yes, what?
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, go on.
How many horsepowers do you have in your Renault?
227.
227.
Same as a normal Honda.
73 less than I have in the Ford. Shall we count them? 1, 2,
Yes,
three.
it's got less
I've only got to
horsepower
3.
because it needs less, because it's lighter. How much does your Ford weigh?
1.4 tons.
Yes, about 200 kilos more than this. It's a sports car.
Power, Hammond, is everything.
No, it isn't. It's lightness.
Power.
No, it's not.
It is.
It isn't.
It is.
It isn't.
It is. Well, it is a bit.
Do you know what? We should
What?
settle this and there's only one way.
Yes.
A race.
A drag race.
Yes.
And I'm thinking not just a conventional drag race, let's make it a Le Mans style drag race. Right, come back here.
What, where you run to the car?
Run to the car.
It's
Run
quite a
to
long
the
way.
car, belt on, engine on, whoom. Okay, ready?
All right.
Steady.
Yeah.
Go.
You see, I'm in already. Yeah. Right.
Belt
Ow.
on.
Ooh, I don't have a belt, I've got a harness, but that's okay. No, that's... Oh! God, I'm sitting on it. Ah! Well, that's not right, clearly.
What do you think of that?
Let's do them
I
all.
won the race, came back to the start line, you haven't even begun. What's the matter?
4-point harness.
Hammond suggested we had a new race where we started in the cars.
Whoa! Come on!
Oh, he's got a bit of a quick start.
Lightness versus power!
Got me off the line, the lightweight helped there, but now the power comes in.
I had you up to 120.
And then what happened?
How much does that cost anyway?
£25,000.
Well, there you go. That's £2,000 more than the Renault.
What's this?
Ah, yes, that's to save weight. It's thin.
That's not thin.
It's lightweight. That's the
Look
point.
at this.
Yeah. It's to keep the weight down low so that the bits high up the car are light.
It's not a car, it's a polythene bag.
No, that's to make it...
I'd love to know just how much room there is in the back for somebody of my height. Oh, no.
Ah.
It's all full of scaffolding.
Yes, and that makes it better through the corners. That's the
Better
point
than
of it.
what?
Better than that thing for a start.
Let's have a look in here, shall we? No radio.
No, well, you don't want a radio in there. It's about... You want to listen to the engine.
Passenger airbag?
No, who cares about
Any
them?
more? I've just got one airbag.
Yes.
There's
so there
nothing
is-
in- no, I
Yes,
haven't
because
finished.
it's been, what's the
Hammond.
phrase? Stripped out, pared down. Let's look at the opposite end of the scale.
The winning.
Let's just have a look. Stereo, yeah, big unit. And what's this big stick
No,
down
just
there?
push that.
Yeah. Voice control.
Voice control.
Put the radio on, please.
No, just don't be stupid.
Important speech commands
Oh,
for radio are...
God, how does that help you go faster?
Let's just go to the graphic equalizer, shall we?
I don't want any of this on my sports car. None of this has
Okay.
anything to do with the hot hatch.
The thing that gets you. What do you mean?
None of this has anything to do with the
No,
hot
the
hatch.
whole point of a hot hatch is that it should do everything. Yours just does fast and not very well.
After another hour of bickering, we swapped cars, and both of us were in for a big surprise.
That's a lot of power.
God, it's quick in the corners.
Then it all turned into a big race.
It looks like I have myself a big green Ford. Bearing down!
Every time I catch up on the straight, here we go.
Yeah, this is better under braking. And that will turn tighter.
Ah, I'm oversteering and then, oh no! Power, reel him in.
Soon, the film crew realised it would all end in a big crash and tried to stop us.
What?
Having too much fun.
Crew's going mad for some reason.
Dirty tracking shots, come on, stop carrying around. What were you thinking? What other shots to do?
It was him.
Sun's going down.
I wanted to come in. I actually did say we should go in.
After a whole day's testing, we arrived at 3 conclusions. 1. The Renault is the best to drive on a short blast. 2. The more powerful, more comfortable Ford is better to own on a day-to-day basis. And 3. If you had your heart set on one of these before the banking crisis came along, don't worry, because you can now have just as much fun for a whole lot less. I've come to Detroit, which in my defence is not exactly Saint-Tropez. God may have created the world in 6 days, but while he was resting on the 7th, Beelzebub popped up and did this place. Back in the 60s, Detroit was the home of Motown and Motor City. But the riots of '67 left it a deserted and shattered shell.
So, I haven't come here for a holiday. I've come here for something even better.
This is the new Ford GT. It's the first proper supercar ever made in America. It was built to celebrate Ford's 100th birthday. But there's a lot more to it than that.
Over the years, there have been a couple of attempts to try and rekindle the GT40 magic. There was the GT70, which I bought. Here it is, look, doors open and everything. Fantastic. And then in 1995, there was the GT90.
I actually drove this and it was horrid. Had a top speed of 40 and it handled like it was in a cartoon. Ford realised that the only way forwards was to go backwards. This is the result. It looks almost identical to the old GT40, although because this one was built in America, it is bigger than the one built in Britain, longer, wider and taller, but still just as good looking. This car shows that the desolate and smashed city of Detroit, one of the most dangerous places on Earth, is not quite dead. It's still coughing up blood and guts. Don't think, however, that this is just some evolutionary throwback. Ford wanted it to be much more than a pretty face.
They wanted it to handle like a Lotus Elise, sound like a Honda NSX, shock like a Lamborghini Diablo, and go like a Ferrari 360. Now on that last front, the speed thing, I think they may have overdone it.
You see, it offers up 500 brake horsepower, and that's 100 more than you get from the 360. And you get twice the torque over twice the rev range. So with its top speed of 200 miles an hour, this thing once again will blow Ferrari into the middle of next week.
Obviously, you don't get the sense that the engine was made by craftsmen using techniques passed from father to son over the generations, because of course it wasn't.
Actually, the 5.4-litre supercharged V8 is lifted out of one of Ford's pickup trucks.
This then is a blue-collar car with a blue-collar punch. It's a working-class hero. Let's go hunting for aristocrats. Shout them to death.
Of course, Americans have never had a problem making stuff go fast in a straight line. The Space Shuttle, the Corvette, the Boeing 747, and so on.
But they have never, and I've checked this out with all the experts, they've never made a car that can go around corners properly. Until now.
The ride comfort's a bit shabby, but as far as handling and grip are concerned, it is epic. So it goes fast, handles well, looks astonishing, and we haven't even got to the second best thing about it yet.
The
The clutch is so light, even someone from a Lowry painting could press it. The steering's light, the gearbox is light, I've got air conditioning, I've got a stereo, I've got electric windows, I've got central locking, and yet none of the essence of the GT40 has been lost. Look at these doors, for instance. They still cut into the roof. And just like on the old car, you can see the engine through the back window. Mind you, not as well as if you open up the clamshell. Oh, look at that. Look at it. Makes me feel 6 years old all over again. In fact, I think I just wet myself. Amazingly then, Ford seems to have done it. The GT does handle like a Lotus, it does shock like a Lambo, and it goes harder and faster than a Ferrari. And now we get to the best thing about it. It's priced like a Ford. Even though it'll only be built in tiny numbers, it's going to be less than £100,000. That's 8,000 less than the Ferrari and 17,000 less than the Lamborghini Gallardo. I love this thing. I love it even more than I thought I was going to. Feel that power. I love it mostly, though, because it takes you back to a time when Detroit was humming to the petrolhead rhythm of the Motown sound. A time when the Temptations provided the descant and the factories were on bass. A time when the street echoed to the sound of dancing and the roar of Last Chance heroes in their V8 muscle cars racing between the lights. I've always wanted to do this.
One of the many great things about the Mustang is that it really introduced drivers to the whole idea of options of speccing up your car. So when it first came out in the early 1960s, nobody wanted a Bogo standard one with a six-cylinder engine. They wanted ones like this, the GT390.
This is the Bullet Mustang, the one Steve McQueen hurled into movie history around the streets of San Francisco.
The GT390 is, in car terms, one of the seven wonders of the world. The noise, the presence.
Very, very few cars live up to their hype.
But this car does, and I should know, because this is my GT390.
And I'm using it to make a Mustang point. Everything that made it good, the engine, the lights, the stripes, was extra.
Basically, if you wanted a good one, you had to forget cheap and cheerful and go for the bells and whistles version. And that is what's been missing so far from the new one.
Until now. This is the Mustang GT500. And from every angle you can see its muscle car biceps straining to burst out of the bodywork. It's also festooned with menacing Cobra badges, a tribute to tuning legend Carroll Shelby.
Now, Shelby only ever put his name to the fastest and most powerful Mustangs, which means this thing has got to be more than just a fashion statement.
And it is.
Good God!
You see, this car has the supercharged V8 from the Ford GT.
Which means power goes up from 300 to 500 horsepower. 0 to 60, 4.9 seconds. 0 to 100, 10 seconds.
In America, the GT500 has gone down a storm. The queues are out of the door and round the block.
Now, if you wait your turn, you could put one of these on your drive in Britain for £35,000. Sounds tempting. Question is, should you? Let's start with the power. That 500 horsepower, it's a bit, you know, neat.
This is a rolling road. It's a sort of lie detector for engines and gives the true horsepower reading.
Genuinely looking forward to this.
What's the score?
Really? Right. So this GT500 actually makes 447. Almost. There you go. That seems fair enough. You know, thinking about it, while I've got the machine here, please don't hurt it. It had, when it was brand new, 325 horsepower. And I'm assured by the man who sold me it that this is a fine example of the breed. $250.
Anyway, back to the job in hand. And speaking of disappointments,
Multi-link geometry, dual rate remote reservoir dampers, fully independent rear suspension. These are just some of the things that this Mustang hasn't got.
no, what this car uses is a live axle, which, as rear suspension goes, is basically a whacking great girder with a wheel at each end.
It's not exactly the most modern layout. I think Noah's Ark had a similar setup.
Because the technology is old-fashioned, you can have some good old-fashioned fun. But when it all goes wrong, the Mustang becomes as precise and dynamic as, well, an ark. Now, Ford say they didn't give the GT500 modern suspension because it would have added $5,000 to the price of each car.
That is a ridiculous decision. You can't just give a car an extra 200 brake horsepower and then leave it with prehistoric suspension.
What you're left with, then, is a car that looks great and goes fast in a straight line. And that's it. But don't despair.
If you really want to spend 30 grand on a Mustang that looks good and goes fast in a straight line,
Then why not buy the one that has the pedigree and the history and makes a great noise? Buy this one. Well, not this one, obviously. It's a bit down on power.